The Eagles are soaring. Saints are after a place at Wembley, but it's big league points at stake tonight as both sides aim for the top 8 in the Premiership. Sheffield meets St Helens here at Don Valley.
Sheffield's record signing Lee Jackson returns tonight after missing the wins at Featherstone and Wakefield. £70,000 brought the Great Britain hooker from Hull in September. Bruce Maguire is the transformer in the Eagles pack, the former Australian international at the Sheffield Steel. But the Eagles star is Darryl Powell. 10 years at this, his only club, 22 caps for Sheffield's first ever international. It was Powell's pace that created Anthony Farrell's try at Saints last season. Powell, an original Eagle and still one of the best. The First Division Player of the Year, Tia Rapati, heads off to Auckland at the end of the season. Rapati and Saints with eyes on Wembley. Last season's top standoff is now operating in the centre. Tommy Martin arrived from Oldham in the summer. He had to wait for his chance, but he's grabbed it now with both hands. Bernard Dwyer moved out of his hooking role back to the second row. Dwyer, a man with an eye for the line, with all the strength in the world. Paul Loughlin's back to his best after breaking his arm twice in '92. 57 goals from the big centre so far. He's bang in form as a fourth Wembley beckons.
But the Sheffield Eagles have the ambition this season to finish in the top 8 of the big league for the very first time in their history. They have won their last 4 and they are bang in form. Let's take a check on the way the Eagles line up tonight. Mark Gamson has been their regular full-back all season, an original Eagle. He's played every back position, hooker and loose forward. Richard Pixley makes only his 9th appearance and he scored just the 1 try this season. That was against St Helens in October. Richard Price makes his 70th consecutive appearance for the Eagles tonight. He won under-21 honours with Hull, his previous club. David Fraisse was playing for his country this time last week against Wales in Cardiff. He is the French international who won his 15th cap last Friday night. David Plange is the former Castleford winger who played at Wembley with Cass in 1986. He's been a great signing for the Eagles since he arrived in September '92. Darryl Powell is the Eagles' one club man. He began a benefit year in December. He's been with them from the very start and he has 22 Great Britain caps to his name. Mark Aston at scrum half scored a try, 3 goals and a drop goal in the Eagles' first ever win at St Helens in October. Paul Broadbent has scored tries in each of his last 2 games. They were his first tries of this season. Another Great Britain international here, Lee Jackson, the hooker. He's the Eagles' record by £70,000 from Hull this season. Now, Mick Cook was the Eagles' hooker until Jackson arrived. He's the oldest man in the team and now earning his corn as a prop forward. Paul Carr is the Australian sign from 2nd Division Hunslet, and he's a forward with the scoring touch. 7 tries this season, 14 last, and 22 with Hunslet. Bruce Maguire has won a court injunction which allows him to play tonight.
Rugged second rower Bruce Maguire is one of the game's toughest tacklers. When he hits, the opposition feel the pain. But it's not just his defensive efforts that has lifted Sheffield into playoff contention. He loves to run just wide of the rucks and has a good turn of pace for such a big man.
He's been here 18 months. His former club in Australia have said they want a transfer fee now. The Eagles say they won't pay. Maguire plays on while the wrangle continues.
Seize the day.
Anthony Farrell is at loose forward. Another big money import from Huddersfield at £55,000. Originally a back, he's now an accomplished forward. And the coach, the chairman, in fact, he is Mr. Sheffield Eagles. It's Gary Hetherington. Now let's take a look at the Saints from Knowsley Road. Challenge Cup semi-finalists aiming for a place in the top 4 so they can begin the defence of their Premiership with a home tie. 6 consecutive cup and league victories behind them. They are playing very well, and this is the side they hope will play well tonight. Alan Hunt is the full-back. David Lyon has a groin strain with the semi-final 2 weeks away. He's left out as a precaution. Mike Riley comes into the side on the wing. The former under-21 international has been involved for the past 9 games, and he has played for much of this season. Tia Rapati is the reigning First Division Player of the Year.
To many league fans, Tia Rapati is one of the best 3-quarters in the world. And who could argue when he displays blockbusting runs like this? He has the step, and the strength to break the tackle and the speed to create the opening. Without doubt, one of rugby league's hardest men to stop.
Tirapati's had an injury-hit season. He is Auckland-bound come the end of the campaign. Paul Loughlin, the 15-cap Great Britain international, has hit 14 goals as Saints have got to within 80 minutes of Wembley. Anthony Sullivan is the Welsh international, 6 caps for him. He ran in a hat-trick against Wakefield last weekend. It included his 100th try of his career. Tommy Martin's getting an extended run under Eric Hughes. Signed from Oldham in the summer, he actually played for Oldham against the Eagles in the 1992 Premiership Divisional Final at Old Trafford. John McAtee is another outstanding youngster. From the academy ranks at Nosey Road, he's a Great Britain international at that level. Andy Dannett was signed from Hull in October, the fee £80,000. Decided by the transfer tribunal, he's figured in the last 20 matches. Tommy Hodgkinson's been playing so well since he arrived on the scene at hooker, but Bernard Dwyer's had to move back to the second row. The teenager now has played in the last 10. Ian Pickavant made his debut against Warrington as a substitute on Sky. He's played in the centres, but he is the prop forward tonight. Chris Joynt has rediscovered the form that's made him one of the game's hottest properties. 6 tries in his last 6 matches and 13 in all this season. Bernard Dwyer is in the second row. It's the place where he made his name before taking over the hooking jersey. No Sonny Nicol, no George Mann. Dwyer is doing a fine job. And the Saints captain Shane Cooper's at loose forward. He's caretaker coach before Mike McLennan arrived, and when he left, he's a former New Zealand international. The coach at Saints, a man aiming to get the club to Wembley exactly 10 years after he played there for Widnes in the '84 final. It's Eric Hughes, of course. Now then, let's take a look at the record between these two head-to-head since 1989 in the First Division. They've only played 7 times. Saints have won 5 to Sheffield's 2. Importantly, Sheffield won at Nosey Road this season for the first time in their history. Defence attack this season. 85 tries for the Eagles, 77 for Saints. Look at the points for and against on both sides. We could be in for a real attacking feast here tonight. Now then, this season so far, they've both played 22. The Eagles in 8th and Saints in 5th, because Eagles have won 11 to St Helens 13. Both drawn 1, and Sheffield have won 4 of their 11 here. Saints have won 5 of their 11 away. And just to confirm where they are in the Stonesbitter Championship in the big league, Saints in 5th with 27 points, 4 points behind them, Sheffield, but they are in the top 8. You know, they've never, ever finished in the top 8 in their brief history, the Sheffield Eagles, but they have a belief here at Don Valley that this could be their year. The Saints want a place in the top 4 to begin that Premiership defence with a home tie in the first round. Now, as you saw in the defence attack statistic there, these two sides have been involved in some mighty games this season. Between them, we reckon they've clocked up something like 2,000 points in their big league matches so far. And so I suppose, Steve-O, we should sit back tonight and expect the avalanche to hit us. We should see some points here.
I think so. I think we see some great tries. There's no less than 13 internationals on display, and 8 of those are in the three-quarter line. So I think that we will get some explosive football. Their only problem for both sides, especially Sheffield, is the fact that their defence is somewhat very lacklustre. They do some great things in attack, and then they throw it all away with some very, very poor defence. But as you say, it's going to be extremely exciting. A lot of people think that St Helens will lose a lot with the fact that they've lost David Lyon. Well, they're resting him for the semi-final, and I'm wondering how much that will play on some of the Saints players tonight. Will they be thinking towards the semi-final? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, it's only 2 weeks away. At the half-back position, Steve-O, we've got Martin, youngster, McAtee, youngster for Saints. For Sheffield, 2 experienced hands, Darryl Powell, Mark Aston.
Yes, it's a big night for McAtee and Martin, and I think the fact that these 2 teenagers have to build the platform for the three-quarter line. St Helens have got the speed out wide, but they've also got to make sure that they get the ball. It's going to be a big night for them, and as you mentioned, that Aston and Powell, they are very, very experienced, and for that alone, I think that Sheffield will run St Helens extremely close.
Well, time for us to take a break now, but when we return to the Don Valley Stadium here in Sheffield, we shall meet this week's local hero. And this week we've got something a bit different for you. The Eagles very much in the infancy in the big league, and so this week's local hero is Mark Gamson, their fullback. He's been here the 10 years they've been involved.
See.
The ground staff here at the Don Valley Stadium have already been working overtime today. They've already had one game on this pitch, an academy match, and it's cut up quite rough during that game. So they've been out in force to try and put the pitch back together, remark it, roll it, sort the divots out as well. So hats off to the ground staff for a job well done. The pitch looking shipshape again now. It's also had quite a lot of rain on it this afternoon. Up until about 4 o'clock it was heavy, so conditions are going to be slippery underfoot, very greasy indeed. But apart from that, it's a pretty good evening for rugby league football. It's dry at the moment. There is the threat of some scattered showers, but hopefully they're going to hold off. The wind could get up to around 20 miles an hour from a southerly direction, but at the moment it's fairly calm as well. The temperature around about 2 degrees. So all in all, set fair for this game between the Sheffield Eagles and St Helens.
It's a magnificent stadium, the Don Valley, and one or two have journeyed over here from St Helens to watch the proceedings. Sheffield have won their last 4 in the big league. Their most recent defeat was against Bradford Northern, the leaders, 28-29 here at Don Valley. Their only league defeat since early December was the 20-8 defeat at Castleford. So they've lost to some great sides in the big league, have the Eagles, but they have suddenly begun to find their feet. And the visitors tonight, St Helens. Challenge Cup semi-finalists being led out by Shane Cooper, the 33-year-old former New Zealand international captain. In their change strip tonight of blue and white, Tommy Hodgkinson, the young hooker, running through the screen, and Tia Rapati. And quite a night for the youngsters of Saints, who want to finish top 4 to begin their Premiership defence with a home tie in the first round. It's the debut for John McAtee. Full debut, that is. He has played 2 substitute roles before this, one earlier this season against Warrington here on Sky. McAtee taking the place of the injured Jonathan Griffiths. And they are promoting the game brilliantly here in Sheffield. The flags, the banners, the youngsters, the cheerleaders. This is what the game is all about in the 90s. And out come the Sheffield Eagles. David Plange played for Castleford at Wembley. There's Mark Gamson too, our local hero. Let's just check their side out for you. Gamson is the fullback, Pixley, Price, Fraisse, the Frenchman, Plange, Powell, the captain, and Mark Aston. And then the forwards, and this is where Steve-O thinks it's so important: Broadbent, Jackson, Cook, Carr, Maguire, Farrell. And the substitutes, young Ryan Sheridan, another outstanding youngster, and Ian Hughes. Sheridan not fit enough to play tonight. Lee Jackson, the hooker, the club record by, and Gary Hetherington ran 5 marathons to raise the cash to sign that fellow. He ran from St Helens to Sheffield. It's just like 5 marathons. Alan Hunt is the fullback for St Helens tonight. Riley, Rapati, Lachlan, Sullivan, Martin and McAtee. What a night for the young scrum half. And the forwards, Dannett, Hodgkinson, Pickervance, Joint, Dwyer, Cooper. And quite a story on the substitutes bench. Afi Luila is the brother-in-law of Inga the Winger, the man who was signed by St Helens when he came over here with Twiggamala. And the other substitute, of course, is Phil Beavers. Mick Cook, he has been the player of the year for the past 4 seasons here at the Don Valley. What a servant he is, now operating as a prop forward. He's the oldest man on the Eagles lineup. The match referee, he was in charge of Wales-France last Friday, David Campbell of Widnes. So we're all set to go then in this match in the Stones Bitter Championship. 2 of the top 8 are live at the Don Valley Stadium, and it's the Eagles who get us underway. Excellent conditions underfoot despite the rain. The ground staff, as Bill Arthur said, have worked really hard. After the academy match, the academy game, by the way, Wakefield-Wigan, which you can see on Sky on Sunday morning at 8 a.m. And you wouldn't believe that just about 25 minutes or so before 7 o'clock, the game finish. That was a drop ball, though, and Joint getting on to the end of it, but offside.
Good tackle by the second row, Bruce Maguire. Didn't drag the ball away, not a penalty. Just the impact there.
Referee deeming it was simply the knock-on. Aston feeds the scrum and finds Darryl Powell. Good tackling then on him by Martin. Jackson gets the ball away. The second rower is Carr. Jackson is there again at dummy half. To Aston, to Broadbent. Straightens up Broadbent. It takes 3 to haul him down. Sheffield Eagles, I know, are anxious to perform well in front of our cameras. Their coach, Gary Hetherington, thinks they haven't done themselves justice whenever we have featured them on the big league in the past. Jackson again, the dummy half, to Anthony Farrell. Good tackling that. Bernard Dwyer playing in the second row now. Aston, good short ball to Powell. He's so close. And St Helens have to haul him back. It was on the last tackle too. It was worth the gamble.
Oh, good defence there. Super play there. Tia Rapati and the hooker Tommy Hodgkinson held the one well back. It looked like Powell was in for it. Good play though by Sheffield. The quick play of the ball, it kept the defence back. And you can see that the offside there, the loose forward Anthony Farrell. Referee David Campbell very quick on that, making his intentions known.
Mike Riley hanging on for St Helens. It's the prop forward Mick Cook who brings him down. Hodgkinson was the dummy half, and this is Dannett with the run. McAtee, he brings Chris Joint into it. Joint gets away from Bruce Maguire, but can't get away from those two. Hodgkinson to Bernard Dwyer. Dwyer dragging St Helens up to the halfway line. 2.5 minutes gone, 0-0 here at the Don Valley. Hodgkinson back to Martin, who will just drift one over the top, dab it down towards the corner. Plange will have to pick that up, or will it run dead? It's a narrowing goal area here, but it hasn't run dead. Plange picks up, chases forward. Good kick by Tommy Martin.
Super kick right into the corner there. You could see the St Helens defence moving up extremely quickly. The kick is only as good as your chasers, and that was excellent.
Broadbent, good strong run, taking on Hodgkinson. Almost bowling him out of the way. Now this is Mick Cook. Jackson. And here is Maguire. He drops the ball. He didn't play that properly at all. Aston, under pressure from Riley, tries to get the ball away and does so.
Never played the ball at all. You can see clearly it just slipped straight away. Bruce Maguire slipped away, and that should have been a penalty.
Coming up to 4 minutes on the watch. The scrum goes down. Saints head and feed. Riley has it. Good tackling. Anthony Farrell funneling back. A bit of help from Darryl Powell. Here's Rapati. Tia Rapati, his brother Ivor Rapati, set up the per-scoring record here, the tries in the season for Sheffield in 1991-92. 30 tries for Eva Rapati. Tia Rapati would love just one tonight. Here's Dannett. Good tackling Farrell. Hodgkinson again. Up to the halfway line.
That's a type of running that we expected from this St Helens outfit, especially in the forwards, running quickly from the dummy half.
High kick. It's got snow on it, that one. Gamson takes it well. Under pressure he was too. Martin chasing up.
Super take and super tackle by Martin.
It's Richard Pixley. Challenge coming in on him from Tia Rapati. As we suspected, it's a forwards battle early on. They're really getting stuck into each other. Broadbent tackled there by the two second rowers, Joint and Dwyer. Ball is spun nicely by the Eagles, though. These are good hands. This is a great run from Fraisse. Tries to take Hunt in and out, but it's a good tackle by Alan Hunt.
Good run by the French centre there, but what a great pass from Daryl Powell as he was going down.
Invention there too from Ashton. The swinging boot came in, and Bernard Dwyer had to be brave, and was.
Super little grubber kick through there. But the loose forward, Shane Cooper, equal to the task, read it well. What a great start from Sheffield. They found the gap on the blind side.
The dummy half is the scrum half, McAtee, on his full debut. Learned his trade under Eric Hughes in the academy. Good kick downfield again from Martin. That left foot will be working hard tonight, I think. Gamson. Ahead of him was Cooper, and Cooper wheels him in. Now here's David Plange. Tirapati stood his ground. Scuttling little run from the winger Richard Pixley. Good tackling again from Hodgkinson. Sheffield making progress. Here's Mick Cook. On one knee, gets the ball away. The call inside him was good from Carr. Carr sees that Ashton was there, but that ball goes to ground. And good, quick retrieving by young McAtee.
Nice pass inside from the Australian Paul Carr. The man should have been there. The try was begging. Holding down at the play of the ball there. Penalty and relief for the St Helens side. Sheffield really have started well on the boil. You can see the Sheffield player not allowing the man to get up and play the ball. David Campbell said, "I'm not having any of that."
Mike Riley for St Helens. It was Broadbent, Jackson and Cook who met him, the entire front row. Bernard Dwyer hanging on for St Helens. Not wearing the customary head guard tonight, Dwyer. Here's Dannett. 7.5 minutes gone. The Eagles trying to record the double over St Helens for the very first time. These are good quick hands though from Saints. This is Rapati.
Did well to keep in then to the big bustling New Zealand centre, Rapati. Not much room to move there.
Cooper dabs it forward, and it's Gamson who's there to pick up the pieces, but he's trapped in goal. It'll be a drop out from underneath his own sticks.
Ricocheted off the player. Nice kick from Cooper, but well read by Gamson. He positioned himself superbly.
Shane Cooper returned to the side. He missed 3 in January, and St Helens lost them all. Significant, I think, that Cooper's return has meant that St Helens get to within 80 minutes of another Wembley.
There's little doubt is the little general. He's the man that gets the cogs going round and round, sometimes slowly, but hopefully mostly fast.
Dwyer with that drive downfield was halted by Paul Carr. This is the prop forward Pickavance. Quick play the ball, McAtee. Hunt was there, but he missed him out and found Rapati. It's good movement from St Helens, this. Pickavance to Cooper. Showed it to Joint, thought the better of it. Cooper hangs on, then has to take the tackle from Richard Price. Nice run from Anthony Sullivan. A hat-trick against Wakefield last week for the St Helens Welsh international. Martin to Bernard Dwyer, and he has plenty of strength, and that's good tackling by the Eagles to keep him out. Last tackle this, drop goal attempt, but that was touched. That was touched by a Sheffield player anyway.
Trajectory far too low, but he was put under a lot of pressure. It just shows you the importance of trying to just get yourself the lead in this game. Far too low from the number 6, Tommy Martin.
And this is the second rower, Bruce Maguire. Now Anthony Farrell.
Well, nearly 10 minutes gone, and Sheffield still trying to work this ball out wide.
That's a lovely run from Powell, a lovely ball inside to the Frenchman, David Fraisse. He has got support with him too. The ball goes to ground, but Eagles can keep the momentum going. Now they can't. That's got to be a penalty. The ball was stolen.
No doubt about the penalty, but that should have been a try. Dearly me, the Frenchman, David Fraisse, he dummied the first time, really, when it should have been a first-time pass. He's apologising, or is he just asking for some water? Well, a chance went begging there. He just held the ball far too long. There you see it should have gone at this point. He throws the dummy and then tries to get rid of it. Well, that's the second occasion that Sheffield have bombed a 4-point opportunity. You could see that the fullback Alan Hunt had already committed himself there. And from this, it should be an easy 2 points, perhaps.
Yes, it was the young halfback McAtee who stole the ball, and so the referee immediately blew for the penalty. And so it's Mark Aston. First chance for points on the board here tonight. Aston kicks it. If I remember rightly, didn't kick well last time we were here, but he's got Sheffield off to a good start here at the Don Valley tonight.
Nice execution. And as I was saying earlier, they were looking forward, Sheffield, to getting off to a flying start. If they could perhaps rattle up another 8 or 9 points against St Helens. Remember, next weekend St Helens in that big semi-final. I wonder how much is going to play on their minds in this game tonight.
Yes, this is their last match before that semi-final. 2 weeks tomorrow. And Leeds also, that match, Leeds St Helens, that was scheduled for Sky next Friday, is off because of the international calls on both sides. And so this is St Helens' last chance to get it right before the semi. Trailing here 2-0, Darryl Powell with the run. Powell in the squad to face the French for Great Britain. Lee Jackson on his own from dummy half. That's good play, finds Broadbent. Broadbent gets it away to Aston. This is David Fraisse again. He's causing problems down that left-hand side for Sheffield Eagles, and Hodgkinson and Dwyer having to be quick to bring him down. Aston will drift one over the top. It's going to bounce kindly, this for Plange. He takes it on the full. It's great play from the Eagles. Farrell is almost through. It was a lovely ball from Price. It was the last tackle, that.
What a great tackle from Sullivan. He had to take Anthony Farrell, ball and all, but what a great kick across field. And once again we see David Fraisse and Richard Price involved. There you see, look at Sullivan there taking man and ball. No opportunity of getting rid of that football.
Here's Dwyer, and the drive up to the 20-metre mark. Hodgkinson, the call inside him was from Chris Joint. Joint, 6 tries in his last 6 matches. Cooper misses out Rapati. Riley picks that one up off his toes. Last tackle for St Helens. They're still in their own half of the field. Left foot again of Martin relieves the pressure, but Gamson is there. That ball shot off the turf. Gamson did well to hang on. Sheffield Eagles local hero tonight on the big league.
Well, it's amazing the 3 clean breaks that Sheffield have made so far have come on the left-hand side. Obviously feel that the defensive tier, Rapati, perhaps left wanting. But they'll have to certainly tighten that angle up, because David Fraisse, the French international, is having a field day.
They're in a rich vein of form, the Eagles, and this is Darryl Powell on the break. The ball inside to Fraisse. Brilliant play! Great try! Oh, that was magnificent play from Powell. Fraisse has been threatening all night and now registers try number 14 of the season.
Make that the 4th time that they go down the St Helens right-hand side, Sheffield left. Beautiful pass, the combination of Aston to Powell. The gap is absolutely wide. Back inside, the position by the Frenchman David Fraisse was superb. You could see that Powell was waiting for the right opportunity. You'll see it a lot clearer from this angle. Ball spun out wide, quick play of the ball, the combination, the 2 halfbacks, long ball from Aston. Here it comes, and Powell through there. You can see quite clearly 2 St Helens players went for 1 man. The gap, you could have driven 4 double-decker buses through that. The timing was perfect. The handoff on Bernard Dwyer was superb. And the 4 points, super stuff.
David Fraisse, 4 tries in 3 matches. Missed last weekend because of the international, the French international, though, and he gave Mark Aston the simplest of conversion attempts because it was right underneath the sticks. And just a second or two ago, Aston obliged. Another 2 points for him, another 2 for Sheffield Eagles. They've started brightly, 8-0 they lead. Well, they are in a rich vein of form, the Eagles. They are after a place in the top 8, as we've said all night, for the first time in their history. And Steve-O, I know that St Helens have got players missing with that semi-final in mind, but the omens for them are not good.
Well, they've obviously been doing their own work, and the fact that they're attacking down their left-hand side, they really have found the gap out wide there. And I'm sure that the St Helens coach, Eric Hughes, will be quick to say to them, come on. The defence, the sliding defence was not there. On that occasion, it was Shane Cooper that went inside. You can't afford for 2 men to go for 1 man. You've got to keep it straight.
Here they go again down that left-hand side. Paul Carr trying to batter his way to the line, but that's good. Sticking to the task by Riley. He wouldn't be shoved off there. And Dwyer adding his considerable weight too.
Well, it's like Broadway, isn't it? New York, let's come. Get the glitter, the lights, everything's on. And St Helens are having a lot of problems out there. Their defence has been shot to ribbons.
That was a good tackle by Riley, though. It means that St Helens have the possession from the scrum. Rapati hauled down. Here's Tommy Martin. It's a better ball to Loughlin. Possession is swinging Sheffield's way. 8-0 on the scoreboard. This joint not being able to go anywhere. Maguire so tough in the tackle, so too Broadbent. That was actually Pickavance. This is Dwyer. Hodgkinson at dummy half. Martin again. Little dink over the top. That's better play. The ball bounced kindly for Aston.
Good play, though, by Tommy Martin. You could see that Sheffield did not have a sweeper ready. Luckily for Sheffield Eagles that Mark Aston came back and rescued the day. Neat little chip over there. Look at the bounce. Cruel for him. Martin couldn't believe it.
There's Tommy Martin, that left boot of his. He's getting an extended run in the team under Eric Hughes, and they've conceded a penalty now, courtesy of Andy Dannett.
From the play of the ball, the big prop forward, formerly from Hull, there you see it. Just an extra little pull, tug on the leg. That was enough for the referee, David Campbell. And they are applying more and more pressure to themselves, St Helens, with silly mistakes like that.
Dannett sporting a brand new beard by the looks of things. This is Broadbent, a tour replacement on the 1992 Tour of Australia by the British Lions. Here's Maguire, the man we've dubbed the Transformer because of that silver-coloured head guard. Aston, long ball to Powell. Oh, that's good play. He finds Carr, and good defence from Martin to bring him down. McAtee with the tackle on Darryl Powell. But the Eagles, 8-0 up and playing well with Broadbent battering his way towards the post. Last tackle. Jackson the dummy half. Aston, a drop goal perhaps, pushes it wide.
Well, you wouldn't have thought that he could have missed from that angle, but look at all the time that he had to get in that. Still just away to the left. This St Helens defence, Eddie, is in awful trouble. They are not moving up in a straight line. The sliding defence is like a dog's leg, but this is a good run.
Hodgkinson hauled down by Cook and Farrell. 6 consecutive league and cup victories has transformed St Helens' season, and they're now playing in the time-honoured fashion under Eric Hughes. That's Pickavance with the drive downfield. I think his inclusion in the side too has given St Helens something a little bit extra. He's a tall, rangy forward. Here's a tall, rangy three-quarter in Paul Loughlin, but he couldn't get away then from those 3. Notice Loughlin not playing with the heavy arm guard. It's a high kick, that, and it just was too long from Tommy Martin.
You know what I mean.
Taking Martin quite some time to get into the kicking swing. Far too heavy on that occasion, but the options are right. They know it's pretty hard to get through this Sheffield defence, and the kicking game is so important to break down that solid defence.
That high kick from Tommy Martin, the in-goal areas here at the Don Valley Stadium are very narrow indeed. It's a magnificent place. It really is. The facilities are superb, but the in-goal area very, very shallow indeed. That picture tells its own story. It can only be 10 yards if that. Farrell is on the halfway line. We're midway through this first half. It's been an excellent opening 21 minutes also for Sheffield Eagles. Mark Aston just drops that ball over the top. He's got the in-goal areas judged to perfection. Has he? No. Hunt took the gamble.
Seemed to take an eternity, didn't it? But he seemed to know what was going on. But Sheffield, they must be very happy with their performance so far. They've been in total control. Good kicking game, good chase. But most importantly, their tackling has been good.
Maguire came flying in then on Cooper. The tackle was completed by Mick Cook. McAtee. Rapati. That's neat play from Rapati, but I wonder, Steve, is he as effective in the centre as he is at 6?
Well, you know my thoughts about it. I think he's the best number 6 in the world. Not much more to be said after that.
Indeed not. Interference at the play of the ball by Lee Jackson on Tommy Martin.
There you can see Jackson, the hooker. Penalty was given the other way a few moments ago. Nice to see the referees. Even Stevens.
I think it was Hodkinson, actually, who was impeded by his opposite number, Mr. Jackson. And we have news of the first substitution of the night, Bill.
Well, it's Sheffield who are making the change. You'd have thought that maybe Eric Hughes, the St Helens coach, would have been thought of ringing the changes given the position his side are in. But in fact, it's the Eagles who are changing. Ryan Sheridan, their very talented young player, coming on, and off comes Paul Carr.
So that will shake them up a bit, the Eagles. Loughlin, meanwhile, prepares to get the sights right and try to add to that 57 goals for this season. It's a long way, isn't it? Just inside the Eagles' half. Loughlin's given it a chance. Giving it more than a chance, he's given it just enough. Big smile on the big man's face. 8-2, Saints off the mark.
How sweet it is. Wonderful connection. Direction superb. And that really could be the lift that the Saints were looking for. They've been a little bit at 6s and 7s. They need something to inject into their side, especially in the defensive patterns.
So it's the Eagles will restart in the shape of Mark Aston. And interesting to see number 14 there, Ryan Sheridan, on the field for Sheffield Eagles as Mike Riley takes this ball up for Saints. Sheridan and McAtee are vying for the scrum half berth for the academy this coming, or next weekend rather. The academy as well as the big team have got an international in France. And the two rivals for the number 7 jersey for the academy international now on the field. But meanwhile, it's Sullivan trying to burst through. 24 minutes gone. 8-2, Sheffield lead. Saints in possession with Cooper. Lovely ball to Rapati. Continues it on by Dwyer. Dwyer dropped it though. The Eagles have it back.
I'm not so sure that he dropped it. I thought it was knocked from him. Not seen by the touch judge or the referee.
Here's Darryl Powell. He looks in determined mood tonight. Let us see whether we can find out. Well, even that's inconclusive.
I'll still put my money on the fact that the Frenchman David Fraisse got a fist to it.
Plange gets the ball away to Aston, and here comes Broadbent.
They really are playing intelligent football, Sheffield, using the big forwards for 1 or 2 patterns, running hard, but running the angles, and then the link between Powell and Aston. And when you've got the likes of Richard Price, Plange, Fraisse and Pixley's quite fast too.
Here's Powell, he's no slouch. Dabs the ball forward, and he's chasing up behind Hunt. Did Hunt just get a touch to that? Yes, he did. Powell was right behind him, breathing down his neck.
He's in top form, isn't he? But the gap that he went through was enormous. Once again, the St Helens defence not moving up. And you can't get any closer with a camera than that. That nearly went inside Alan Hunt's boot.
He was taking no chances, just clipped it away. It's a drop out from underneath their own post by St Helens. Bounces once and into the arms of Gamson. Look at the determination on the Sheffield fullback as he runs that ball back at them. 26 minutes gone, 8-2 Sheffield. Broadbent in possession. Gets the ball away neatly to Jackson. He finds Gamson, who stayed up there to support this attack. It's been a bright opening by the Eagles. Harry Hetherington telling me last night they're really in good form, and they look it too, don't they? Looking great, Nick. On the attack they are now with Sheridan. He gets the ball away to Price. It's good defence, though, that from St Helens this time. Bernard Dwyer's working really hard. Here's Cook.
But look at the ease that they're getting over that advantage line, the Eagles. You can't afford to be doing that in a defensive line. They're just controlling this game, Sheffield.
Ashton with a little chip over the top. Ooh, and it bounced off the back of Bernard Dwyer. It was a good job that Hunt was there to clear up the danger.
Ooh, off the back of him, Hunt picks it off. Just like a cherry off the tree.
Well, these are good moments for Sheffield. The opening 27 minutes have belonged to them. And one of the men who has come off is Paul Carr. He's with Bill.
Paul, was that an injury that caused you to come off?
No, I've haven't been 100% through the week, and Gary said to me last night he'd give me 20 minutes and bring me off and give me a rest. So.
But in fact, it's been a great first half hour for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been pretty quick out there. Darryl Powell's playing out of his skin, so it's good to see.
And to get those 8 points on the board early on, I mean, it must give you a great boost.
Yeah, we just got to keep on with the job now. So.
He's breathless, isn't he, Paul Carr? Good on him for talking to us. Not fit, not 100% fit anyway, but fit enough to play for 25 minutes or so and help the Eagles build this 8-2 advantage.
I'd have a bet that the lad's troubling with a bit of flu or bronchitis by the way he was breathing.
Nothing wrong with the Eagles at the moment, though. In possession with Jackson. Nothing wrong with this fella Powell. He's in a great order of form, no doubt about it. And the touch judge was on. I think we saw a little swinging elbow from Paul Loughlin. Watch out the number 4 here. Swings him to the ground, and watch it, there it is. There's the little forearm smash. This Loughlin has been pulled out by referee Campbell. He disagrees.
Oversee. Yes, intent towards the head. And it's silly things like that which are losing St Helens good positions.
Broadbent then goes around Dannett, gets the ball away brilliantly to Maguire and the tackle, who finds Farrell, and it was a good job that Cooper was there, and so too was McAtee, but here's Maguire again.
Here comes the link.
They're looking eager for work, aren't they? Aston, short ball, Broadbent. Oh, good quick hands. Powell tried to be just a bit inventive. That's a good job for St Helens that Chris Joint was there.
Little pass there. Richard Price trying to bring his captain through. Well, they're trying all the moves, aren't they, Sheffield? They really are in command at the moment. And it's surprising that they only have a 6-point lead.
Pickavance couldn't get away from those two, Maguire and Farrell. Hodkinson is the dummy half, and he finds Dwyer, gets the return. He finds Cooper, long ball to Sullivan. Sullivan trying to step inside plunge. That's good defence from Sheffield.
Super defence. They're moving up quickly out wide. They're just leaving a very narrow corridor for St Helens to go through, and that is down the middle.
Last tackle. Martin again with that left foot. 2 bounces, sitting up nicely. Gamson's just waiting. They've all got to give him 10 metres grace before they can tackle him. There's the 10 metres. Gamson taking on the youngster McAtee. I think a little swish at him too. Mark Gamson. Here's Maguire.
You talk about a utility player, that Mark Gamson, he certainly fills the bill.
Jackson steps away from one, gets the ball away off the ground superbly to Broadbent. Broadbent on the run, Hunt is there, and so too Dwyer. They want to get on with it quickly. Cook finds Sheridan, and he finds Aston. Aston is ankle tapped, but the movement continues again. This is Richard Price. Price to Powell. Powell, lovely reverse pass. Fraisse can't get through. Scrambling defence from St Helens. The Eagles running hot with Aston, and the ball to Broadbent. Back again. They really are keeping this ball alive. It's with Gamson, and the local hero does it. Mark Gamson with a try. The Eagles would not let that ball die. Try number 6 of a very productive season for Mark Gamson, and ever present in this Eagles team.
Hot potato, keep it alive and keep the support play moving. Super play by the big prop forward Broadbent. Look at this, Aston gets it through and Gamson is in support. They were lining up there. It's all about team spirit, it's all about backing up the man with the football, and the reward is 4 points.
Mark Gamson, ever present in all of the games so far this season, an original Eagle, formerly with Leeds Colts. Over 291 appearances, every back position and hooker and loose forward. As Steve-O says, the sort of utility player that is priceless in the big league in 1994. Mark Aston now again almost bang in front. Oh, and he was blowing for tugs as he prepared to take that, and it didn't get any air underneath it at all. A bad miss really. 2 points go begging. 12-2 though, the Eagles lead.
Well, the fullback Mark Gamson may have scored, but it came all about from this wonderful pass from Lee Jackson. Just before he hits the deck, talk about keeping it alive. The knee was just about to hit there, and the big prop forward takes it on. It is great support play. They really do deserve all the accolades that the fans are screaming at this side. Sheffield Eagles are really flying high.
Gary Hetherington ran many, many miles for Lee Jackson, and it has all been worthwhile. Of course, he is the people's signing too. The people of Sheffield had to dig deep into their pockets to fund the deal. Gary Hetherington did his bit, and he went on the marathon from here to St Helens.
Yes, well, we'll play like that. He's repaid some of it. I can remember one little youngster, I think about 7 or 8 years of age, came along with just a few shillings, or should I say new pence these days. It all added up to getting one of the best players in the world.
Broadbent, oh, he released that pass, and Hodgkinson picked it up. Was onto it in a flash. So St Helens on the charge now. Dannett can't get through. I just wonder whether that missed conversion by Aston has given the St Helens players a bit of heart and a bit of hope. But only 10 points adrift where they would have been 12.
Well, the big problem, as we mentioned before, that St Helens' defence is bad, but what they've also got to start doing is rolling up the sleeves and using the forwards. They've got to start working.
McAtee's long pass, almost straight into the arms of the winger, Richard Pixley.
Well, he read it well, didn't he? Pixley came in off the wing. Just couldn't take control of it.
Yeah, just bounced off his shoulder, didn't it? But obviously it's 6 to go.
They really have got to start working now. St Helens have got to lift a gear, really get the forwards running at full pelt.
There's one of them, Hodgkinson. So close, the Saints now. They're inside the 10. In possession with Cooper. He finds Joint. It's good tackling by Sheffield again.
They're far too flat when they're running onto the ball.
Now Martin just drifts one through a gap, and Gamson could hear that the hoofs were coming up behind him and hooked it dead.
Well, once again, Martin electing to go for the kick, and it was a good kick. He was in two minds there, Gamson, whether to actually drop on the football, but the option was the kick. It was probably the safest.
Well, Bill Gardner left this Sheffield Eagles side in December after 5 consecutive defeats, plus an ignominious Regal Trophy exit against second division Batley. Gary Heathering took over, and they've won 7 of 9 league games since.
It's not all gold from Australia.
Now we have McAtee and Dannett. Dannett thought he saw a little opening ahead of him. Cook closed it down with a bit of help from Maguire. And here's Joint. Chris Joint in great form too this season. Just held up. That's good defence. Jackson was there and Cook also. McAtee. St Helens trying to turn the screw. It's back with Dwyer. Now with Cooper. Cooper darts through the gap. And Gamson came in and just shouldered him to the ground after Broadbent's tackle. Cooper trying to go on his own. That's good play again from Sheffield Eagles. Good defence. They're all working hard for each other.
Cooper saw that the Sheffield defence wasn't watching. Quite a few of the players had their backs turned to him. And luckily, it went against them, just bounced off, ricocheted someone. There you see, Cooper could see that the markers weren't looking towards.
Powell took Martin on and Dannett on and came off worst. Oh, that's a bad mistake by Maguire. It was a good pass. He just overrun it a bit. It was behind him.
Well, that's probably the first unforced error that Sheffield have made in this first half. And it couldn't have come at a better time.
Cooper picks up from the base of the scrum, finds McAtee. He switches direction of play to Martin and now Rapati. Rapati inviting Hunt to have a run. Hunt has chimed up from full-back.
Swinging arm.
He has gone to St Helens. Yeah, high tackle, swinging arm.
Full-back Gamson. There it is, over the top, right in front of the referee, David Campbell. Can't get much closer than that, and catching a fistful in the mouth himself. Well, they've just lost their way a little bit, Sheffield. A bad mistake by the second row, Bruce Maguire. Put the pressure on the Eagles. And perhaps they'll be lucky to just get away with giving away 2 points.
Lachlan 1 from 1. Hopefully going to make it 2 from 2 from a St Helens point of view. Not quite straight, but close enough. "57 goals before tonight. He's hit the post and come back. And luckily for Sheffield, it was Anthony Farrell who reacted the quicker. That's a bad miss. Now Cook trying to work the ball away. St Helens will be frustrated with this.
Here's a replay, bounced off. But you could see it took an age for the St Helens attack to go forward. Always got to take the chance. Farrell saved the day.
Not the widest post in the world either here at Don Valley. Wide enough then, though.
You mean the distance between them, or
no,
the actual thickness
the
of
thickness
the
of the post?
That's the new one.
I noticed these things. Sullivan. Hodgkinson finds Dwyer, who in turn finds Rapati, and Rapati picks up pace. But the Eagles stick to him like glue.
Not only stick to him like glue, lady, they're slowing things down at the play of the ball.
And they're penalised by referee Campbell. Well, David Fraisse.
He was never square at the play of the ball. You must stand directly in front of the man. Actually, it's interesting, David Fraisse, of course, last Friday playing for France. They were pretty good at holding the players down, so it's something that is brought back to Sheffield tonight.
You took the words out of my mouth. Dannett, Cooper, Joint.
St Helens are making the half break, but they really have not got this second phase of attack working.
McAtee. Lachlan, or forward pass anyway. It's gone to ground. Well, the referee says play on.
You sound amazed.
Now Dwyer. St Helens, can they capitalise on that little escape? Not with defence like this. Hodgkinson. Maguire is after him. Seems to have lost a stitch in the head guard. He looks more and more like a Roman centurion, doesn't he? The Sheffield Eagles second rower. Martin, meanwhile, will hoist the midfield bomb. And it's well taken by Gamson. Waited for it to drop and hauled it in.
Under a lot of pressure as well. Gamson kept his eyes on the football at all time. Oh, that was a bit high. Bit of a facial there.
They need some new track.
Mr. Lachlan, the offender, but not in the eyes of the referee. It's just more of a slap. We're in the first minute of stoppage time, first half. Eagles will be well pleased with their opening 41 minutes work. Sheridan picks himself up.
I don't think you'll be able to say that for the St Helens coach, Eric Hughes. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about this defensive pattern.
Aston shaped to kick. Dwyer cut down the opportunity for him, so he stepped inside. And that bounces awkwardly for Alan Hunt. He did well to pick that up.
But look who was first there, chasing his own kick and then making the tackle. Mark Aston.
Dwyer was looking for support then. There was no one with him. Well, I can't remember too many stoppages in this first half, but we're approaching the 42nd minute of it as Lachlan takes the pass from Cooper. There is the half-time siren. The timekeepers must be tuned into Sky. Half-time here, and Darryl Powell has led by example for the Sheffield Eagles, and he's still chunnering away. Mark Gamson's try, the latest of the Sheffield Eagles touchdowns, gives us the half-time scoreline. Eagles 12, the Saints 2. It's been a good half for Sheffield.
It's the highly impressive Don Valley Stadium that's the host venue for tonight's big league battle. Sheffield Eagles against St Helens. Now let's meet this week's local hero.
Mark Gamson could never be accused of lacking bottles, so it's appropriate that he works in the glassware industry, welding special moulds which are then used to make bottles. 28-year-old Mark works in temperatures reaching 800 degrees at the Leeds firm BRK. Mark signed for Sheffield at the start 10 years ago, along with Darryl Powell, and he's seen plenty of other players come and go.
People would play one game, they'd come training for a week, play one game, and then you never see them again. I mean, that first year there must have been 25 players just played one game and never come again.
So why did you stick with it?
Well, I enjoyed it. I've got on with Darryl as a young kid and we've stuck together for 10 years. We've had a good time here.
Mark Gamson has appeared in every position apart from prop for the Sheffield Eagles. He's been ever present for the last 66 games and is highly valued by his coach.
He's having a great season. He took over from Gary Jack at full-back and now moving towards his 300th game for the club. Been a great servant and is now a better player than ever. You've nothing if you've not got commitment from players, and that's something we've always had plenty of. Mark Gamson typifies that spirit throughout the club.
Mark has won second division honours with the Eagles. He's hoping for bigger things this season.
They've shown faith in me. I was a bit of a wild child as a young and several sending-offs. And Gary stuck with me and I'm happy to stick by Gary.
The local hero just a little bit different this week. They've only been in existence here at Sheffield for the past 10 years. It's been a decade of Sheffield Eagles, and there's one of the real stalwarts of this club, Mark Gamson. Now, you know, rugby league these days, the inward is development, and it's proof positive that the development is working. The fact that we're actually in the City of Steel tonight to see this match, Sheffield Eagles against St Helens. But even here, they're thinking even further afield. I think that's right, isn't it, Bill Arthur downstairs?
That's right, Eddie. They've got the bug in Brighton. There's a new team in Northampton, and I'm told they're getting into the game in the home of hurling. It turns out there's quite a following for rugby league now in Ireland, and in particular for the Sheffield Eagles. And tonight's big league game will be closely followed at the New Inn, at the Hook rather, in Gorey, and Brown's Bar in Hook. Two bars down there near Wexford, deep in the Republic of Ireland, where they are avid Sheffield Eagles supporters for some reason. And I'm told that they'll be in the bars tonight, wearing Sheffield Eagles kit, watching this game and cheering on the Sheffield Eagles, no doubt supping a few pints of stout as well to go with it. Well, they and the Eagles fans here will be hoping to see the side carry on a fine run of form, but they're up against a St Helens side that's on a good roll too.
Out of the last 9 games, we've won 7 of them, and the 2 we've lost against Castleford and Bradford, who was up in the top 3, so I think teams are taking us a bit lightly, but let's hope they keep doing that.
And are you thinking in terms of top 8 place and maybe the premierships?
Yeah, as I say, we're not going to do much shouting about it. We'll just keep quiet and hopefully sneak into the top 8. That's the aim of the club, and the team are working quite hard to get there.
It'll be a tight game. They had a good result on the weekend over Featherstone, and any side that goes to Featherstone is always in for a tough game. And they showed that they can play football because they've put a great score against Featherstone. But as I said before, we're on the top of our form at the moment. Open spaces at Don Valley, it should suit us, and hopefully we can come away with the 2 points.
Mind you, they beat you here, didn't they?
Yeah, we won't talk about that though, will we? But no, they put up a good performance against us here. Credit to them, they put a good spoiling game against us and they come away with the 2 points, whereas we were really desperate for them at that time.
We've been winning games, we haven't been winning them too convincingly. We've been letting teams back into it after we've got good leads. But we have been winning, and that's the main thing, so we're a pretty confident team at the moment.
To go to Post Office Road and win's no mean feat, is it?
No, they're a pretty good side at Post Office Road. They take some beating, and we pulled out all the stops late on them, and they came back at us and got in the lead by 2 points. So it was a good character test for us, and we came out of it.
Do you feel a premiership coming on, maybe?
We hope so. We've played some good stuff this year. We had a poor start to the season, and we've really come of age over the last 9-10 weeks. So we're hoping so. We're just going to dig in there and keep playing to his ability, and we'll do all right.
They've been to Old Trafford before, but that was in the 2nd Division Premiership final. Darryl Powell, by the way, in his benefit year. Now, we have got 2 young British coaches on view here tonight. We've got Eric Hughes, who's taken over this season, of course, from Mike McLennan, and Gary Hetherington, who is in his 2nd spell as the coach here at the Don Valley. Of course, he's also the chairman of Sheffield Eagles. But 2 young men facing each other tonight with a lot to play for so late on in the season.
Yes, it's better to be at the bottom end of the top end than the top end of the bottom end. And we've strove all season to get into the top 8, and now we're there. Of course, it's up to us to stay there.
You're building up a fair old head of steam at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, we've been going well recently. Won 7 of us last 9, and the 2 we lost were very narrow defeats to Bradford Northern and Castleford. So yeah, the team are playing with a lot of confidence, with a lot of good players, and you know, we really are playing some good rugby at present.
I think people outside are saying, well, the change has been Gary Hetherington taking over from Bill Gardner. I mean, is it as simple as that?
Oh no, all teams have good spells and bad spells, and you know, we certainly had a bad spell to start the season with, and now we're having a good spell. But I think we showed last season what the team were capable of. We got through to the Yorkshire Cup final and had some very notable victories, and of course just missed out on a top 8 spot last season. So the team showed in its first season back in the 1st Division that we're very well capable of doing well. This season we got off to a bad start, but now with so many good players that it's inevitable we're going to win matches. And the encouraging thing for me is that we certainly are winning them with a bit of style.
At this moment in time, we're still in with a chance of winning 2 trophies. Obviously, one's to go to Wembley, but the other one is the Premiership. And we've still got a chance of finishing in the top 4, so it's important that we keep the roll going and we aim for that top 4 place. And obviously, the best way to prepare for the semi-final is to have a winning camp. So it's important to us that we keep the roll going.
But you're up against a Sheffield side that's on a bit of a roll as well, and they can be a good side on the day, can't they?
Absolutely, and earlier in the season we saw what a good side they could be on the day. They came to St Helens and they won quite convincingly. And like you say, they've hit a running streak, so their confidence will be sky high. They're at home, it's the 1st Division, there's no such thing as an easy game. So we've got our hands full come Friday.
Eric Hughes, before that, Gary Hetherington, 2 coaches here at the Don Valley tonight with their sides up against each other, Sheffield Eagles and St Helens. Steve-O, we've spoken about the 2 sides. We've said 4 internationals in each team in the backs. But as ever, it's going to be the forwards, isn't it, who will really decide the outcome here tonight?
Well, in the first 15 minutes, it always is the case. It's great for a forward pack to be going forward. It gives the opportunity for those 3 quarters to certainly excel. I think that they've taken a big gamble, the St Helens side, with the fact that they've gone for runners rather than the brawn and the toughness. I think Sheffield take that title on tonight's team that they've selected. The thing with St Helens is the fact that they've got two hookers. They've got Hodgkinson there and they put Dwyer back into the second row, and I think that is going to be a good advantage in the forwards of the St Helens pack, because that means they're going to have two dummy runners, and unless the Sheffield second marker is really on song, they'll make a lot of ground from the play the ball area. So it's something that they've got to work hard at, Sheffield, in defence.
We have made great play of the fact that so many points have been scored for and against these two sides, and you would expect that the pattern will continue here tonight.
I think so. I think they've got so many players who are very intelligent. They like to play attacking football, and I think that's why we will get a very open, fast game. Even though there are wet conditions out there, I still expect that both sides will be very eager to throw the ball around, but expect it pretty tough in the first 10 minutes.
So we're looking forward to a great game here then. The Eagles soaring against the Saints, but will they be sinners tonight? We shall have to wait and see, won't we? It's a great night in Sheffield because guess who's in town? Sky Sports Big League. We're here. We have the whole match coming up for you next. Half-time at Don Valley. Sheffield Eagles 12, St Helens 2. Fraisse and Gamson, Aston with 2 goals, Lachlan with the 2 points for the Saints. And the cheerleaders here at the Don Valley, they are dragging the game into the 20th century, aren't they? Tremendous to see. Entertaining the crowd, and a bigger than usual crowd here at Don Valley tonight to see the Saints in action against the Eagles. Paul Carr is quite popular on the terraces here. The Australian, and he is an Eagle now. Huge stadium, built for the World Student Games just a couple of years ago, and the Eagles have made it their home ground. Once the nomads of the big league, but now well and truly settled here at Don Valley. And very much, Steve-O, with the cheerleaders and everything else, an Australian influence.
Yes, they look to the future, don't they? It's nice to see, and there's the man that certainly helped them. 10 years, Daryl Powell, in his testimonial season. But what a great game he's had in those first 40 minutes. More of the same, I'm sure, that the coach, Gary Hetherington, would have been saying to him at half-time.
So Daryl Powell waiting, as Bill Arthur has the Saints coach Eric Hughes with him.
Eric, was there some firm talking at half-time?
Well, firm, but there's no point screaming for screaming's sake. We had a few problems early on. We felt they were playing the ball a lot quicker than us, and this was giving them a lot more space in attack. We also felt that at times they were putting a lot of bodies down one side, and our defence wasn't responding. We were marking grass-riding bodies, basically, and both flanks were left short-handed. We feel we're getting over that problem slowly, but we've just got to keep at it then, and we've really got to be at our best now to get back into this game.
There were maybe signs at the end of that first half that you were getting your act together.
Well, that's right, yeah. Well, as I say, they came out very sharp, and particularly around the play of the ball. Their play of the balls were lightning fast, and it was causing us a lot of problems. The defence has tightened up, and we're starting to get back into it. But we've still got to be aware of those 2 areas in particular.
Eric Hughes' view, the St Helens coach, and he will watch now as the Saints are on the attack with Dunnett and Hodgkinson, the dummy half. Cook working so hard from the marking position, so too Daryl Powell. First minute of this second half. Martin spreads the play out wide to Cooper. He finds Rapati. Rapati, lovely ball back in field to Riley. Riley had to apply the brakes. He knew that the Eagles players were trying to shuttle him out of the field of play. Cooper to Dwyer. The Eagles defence moving up very quickly, marshalling itself well against these early threats from St Helens, with the words of Eric Hughes ringing in their ears. Lovely long ball from Rapati, long striding Lachlan in the corner, and it looks like Eric Hughes' words have
done the trick.
For once, St Helens has got the link working. It was Cooper that called for the first ball. They used a dummy runner, the long ball out wide, and using another dummy runner too. They brought Alan Hunt in, used him as a dummy, and Paul Loughlin in for a great try. It's the first occasion during this game that Saints have used two dummy runners there. There's the first one, it was Pickavant. Then you'll see Rapati use the other one. They used Alan Hunt to come through as a shepherd. All legal, of course, and that is a great try.
Loughlin's first try since December. The narrow victory against Hull Kingston Rovers here on Sky. Tommy Martin then. 18 goals this season. Left-footed. It's the right side of the pitch for the left-footed kicker, but it just couldn't come back quickly enough. 12-6 though. Saints back in it.
You can see the dummy runner is coming through there, and this defensive man is coming at the angle. That left the break. Look at the long ball out wide. That is a pretty large gap, isn't it? And that man is quite adept at scoring 4 points. Super try.
Clyde trying to rouse the Eagles after that early setback second half. 12-6, thunderous challenge by Broadbent on Riley. Hodgkinson is the dummy half, Cooper the runner. Well, Eric Hughes spoke to Bill Arthur, and I think, Steve-O, that he will be well pleased with the effort in the opening 3.5 minutes here of this second 40.
Well, he should be. We said at the half-time break that he had a lot to say and that he would fix the defensive pattern up, but also the fact that he has his players running onto the football. They did not do that in the first half.
Joint picked that pass up at speed too. Jackson stood up to the challenge well, held down by Broadbent. Hodgkinson back to Martin. Martin will drift one over the top. Bounces kindly though for Gamson, but he's got to get through Cooper, and he's got to get through Rapati and Dwyer, and he couldn't.
Nice kick downfield, and for once the St Helens chasers were there. So they've sorted themselves out very well at the half-time break of the Saints. Apply the pressure, that's what it's all about. The forwards have to work, certainly a lot more than what they did in the first half.
Well, Maguire there trying to milk the penalty from referee and touch judge. Jackson, I think, was just distracted by all the shenanigans at the play of the ball, and he drops it.
Well, he'd set off well before the ball was taken up. But as you mentioned, Eddie, a little bit of shenanigans there. That was one of the good things about Sheffield in that first half. They played the ball so quickly. They caught the Saints' defence napping.
Hunt trying to get away from Powell, couldn't do so, and Richard Price was there as well. Now here's Loughlin, score of that try, but stopped dead in his tracks by the tackle from Mick Cook. And what a low error count tonight. Pitch is perfect, mind you, and it's dry now. Hodgkinson to McAtee to Joint. This Joint, one of the hottest properties in the game. In the Great Britain 7 squad, in the squad for the French match next weekend. Alan Hunt, so close to getting through. Farrell with a good tackle, and it was the last one in this set of 6. Martin again, shaped for the kick. He invited McAtee to run onto it though, and the Eagles' defence had to be sound. Jackson wants to get on with it quickly.
That was a super tackle from his opposite number, Mark Aston. The nice delayed pass, McAtee came on full pelt. Well, they're certainly getting it sorted out, the Saints. It's for Sheffield to really wind it up and carry on where they left off in the first half.
Now, before this match tonight, and indeed on the big league every Friday before our games, we have curtain raisers, the Academy Challenge Cup. It was Wakefield-Wigan tonight. You can see the result and the outcome Sunday morning at 8 a.m. It was an excellent game too, and that's not giving anything away. It was absolutely breathtaking from start to finish. Join us for that Sunday morning at 8. See the stars of the future. Stars of today in action here, though, now. One of them is Aston, another is Bruce Maguire, now Anthony Farrell. Eagles again keeping this ball alive. Farrell, a difficult man to pull down. That's lovely play. And now it's with Plans. Plans has got some speed. He has some strength too. He's looking for the support. Nobody there. Joint Manan to bring him down. It is on the last tackle. Here's Powell, now Aston. Broadbent wants it, Broadbent gets it, Broadbent with the run. Good tackle on him by young McAtee.
It had to be as well. Broadbent was really rolling there. He never really got to his full stride. He seemed to be tripping forward all the time. But what a great run from David Plange. Super play. He did the right thing as well. He didn't panic, didn't just throw a stupid pass. He went down to hold it. He knows that possession and position on the field is vital.
It's the Eagles, though, who have the ball back here. St Helens surrendering possession early in the tackle count after the turnover, after Plange was hauled down. So it's the Eagles on the attack, 12 metres from the line. Broadbent in possession. Good defence, St Helens. Pickavant's there, so too Hodgkinson. Now Mick Cook gets the ball away to Jackson. This is Aston. Long past Maguire. Ball inside. Bounces kindly for the winger, Richard Pixley. He was cleaned out. Now Gamson, already scored one, looking for two. Riley with the challenge. It had to be a good tackle, it was. They're attacking this corner. It's the last tackle. That was David Fraisse. The ball now will no doubt spin wide off the boot of Aston. Hunt is there, and Hunt has to shuttle it dead. There were two men, Pixley and Price, closing him down. Lovely little kick from Aston.
Weighted to perfection. Hunt under a lot of pressure, realising he could hear the stampeding feet. Did the right thing, but once again, Sheffield putting them on the rack, knowing that they will receive possession from the kickoff. But what a good kickoff.
Yes, good kick downfield. Maguire picks it up. Obviously had a stitch in that head guard, or is it a new one, I wonder? This is Pixley, the dummy half. He finds Aston. Aston gets the ball away. But good tackling again from St Helens this time on Paul Broadbent, who's not too happy with the challenge that came in on him. Jackson running strongly. Pixley again. Cooper is there.
Once again, we see Sheffield making easy yardage. They really are pinching and getting across this advantage line with so much ease.
Not that time. That's better covering, but better tackling by St Helens. Rapati and Cooper. Two Kiwis leading the way. But here comes Powell, and he finds Fraisse. And Fraisse tried to bring Pixley into it. Cooper, the St Helens captain, picked it up. And Rapati's taken a knock.
Well, it wasn't the best pass from the Frenchman Fraisse, but in the end, you could see again how Sheffield, quick play the ball, running onto it, very quick, very fast. They're catching this defence out.
Oh, the ball spills free from Pickavant. Ryan Sheridan collects it. That's another early error from Saints in the tackle count early on. Aston ducking under the challenges. Couldn't get away from Martin, though. Martin standing over him as Aston picks himself up off the floor. Jackson finds Cook. Cook was thinking about releasing the pass, thought better of it. Jackson on his own from dummy half, the sort of thing he does so well, Lee Jackson. 13 caps for his country. He's 25 tomorrow, by the way, the St Helens hooker, the Sheffield hooker. This is Powell. Powell out wide to Pixley. Pixley, the shirt dragged off his back by Riley, who dragged him into touch.
Good defence from Riley there. Didn't move his ground. Pixley tried to step back inside, but Riley would have had nothing of it. It's been a good contest between those two.
So St Helens have head and feet at this scrum. Last twice they have been in a position of having the ball in their hands near their own line. They've dropped it early in the tackle count. Cooper has it this time for them. 10 metres out, he's dropped by Farrell and by Powell. Powell working very, very hard.
There you see the difference between the two sides. The Saints having problems getting to that advantage line, never mind getting over it.
Hodgkinson is hauled down by Bruce Maguire. Making a bit of a... Well, he's looking up to be penalised for that, Maguire. Good pick up by Martin. Dwyer Maguire was impeded by Martin as he went to make the challenge, but he's still in there, ferreting for the ball, but Saints have got it out wide to Joint. Last tackle for St Helens. They're still in their own half of the field. It's good harassing this by the Eagles. McAtee, right-footed, just got it in the field of play.
Good thinking by the youngster there. But what a lot of pressure there were applied. First the ball went back to the second rower, Bernard Dwyer. He said, I can't kick. Well, not good enough anyway. But this youngster, very talented. The start of the academy last season, trying to make it in the big league this.
Here's Blanche. That run from him set the crowd alight here before. 52.5 minutes of this match gone. 12-6. Richard Price for the Eagles. Downed by Pickavance. Jackson at dummy half. Broadbent first receiver into St Helens territory. The Eagles go.
Hasn't he got through some work, the prop forward, Paul Broadbent?
Here's Gamson. They've all worked hard, the Eagles. They've beaten St Helens only twice in 7 previous meetings. Heading tonight for their first ever big league double over the St Helens team. But a long, long way to go yet, and only 6 points in it. And St Helens sticking to the task much better in this second half. Aston. High kick, midfield bomb. He'll try and get up there and put them all on side, but he couldn't beat Powell to it or Farrell. And the St Helens man, Riley, has to run the ball out, but the referee has called them back for the knock-on.
He'll take the first knock-on from Farrell. He jumped the highest, fingertips got to it. He played advantage at the referee, David Campbell, rightly so, but he could see that it wasn't going to be an advantage to St Helens, so the scrum was formed.
Dwyer from acting half-back, straight at Cook, Gamson there, so too Broadbent to bring him down. Hodgkinson turns the ball inside to Rapati, and Maguire, he really is the number 12 of Sheffield Eagles. He's getting stuck in, isn't he?
Well, he loves the defensive style, doesn't he? Like an Exocet missile at times. When he hits them, he makes it hurt.
There he is again. Was that a trip? No, referee says play on. It's last tackle this for St Helens. And in a bit of trouble. Martin's kick will relieve the pressure. It doesn't find... Yes, it does. I was just going to say it doesn't find touch. But there surely is an instance, Steve-O, here where Gamson could have moved in and picked this up.
Well, he did the right thing. It was a badly bouncing ball. They don't have to. They get head and ball. I know there's a call to change a lot of things in the rules. Perhaps they should. But nonetheless, getting back to this game, the fact is that St Helens were in so much trouble there. 3 men had to be passed before the kick was actually put in. They really are at 6s and 7s, and that's all been brought about by this Sheffield defence. They really have pressurised St Helens all night.
It's Farrell in possession for the Eagles. Now Broadbent and Farrell again. Jackson back to Aston. He'll clip it down, aiming for the corner, and that too will find touch up the other end. Just relieve the pressure.
Complete reversal, wasn't it? Mark Aston, he could have made a cup of tea, spun the ball on his finger, and then decided to kick it. That has been the difference between the two sides. Sheffield are working, and St Helens are not.
56 minutes gone. 12-6. Riley for St Helens. Good tackle by Gamson. Rapati. Cooper. Joint call for that. The tackling. Dannett. Up to halfway. That's a better run from Dannett. Hodgkinson to McAtee, closed down by Lee Jackson, so he gets it away to Cooper. Cooper almost through. Last tackle here, and it's with Hodgkinson. Dubs it forward, and luckily for Sheffield Eagles, Mark Aston was there and collected it, second attempt.
This shows you the difference in the defence. They're not moving up there. Aston is all the time. Jackson get the ball away. That is the difference. And it is so important in this modern day.
Sheridan finds his prop forward Broadbent. Sheridan pushed Lee Jackson out of the way then from the dummy half roll and scampered forward himself. Only 18, Ryan Sheridan. Aston. Little chip over the top. That could open the defence. Soccer skills and a good job that Anthony Sullivan was there and Flanders was all over him and slid him dead in goal.
Beautiful little chip over the top. Elected to just kick it on through there. But that has been the difference, hasn't it, really? I know I keep repeating it, but the way that this side has defended, they've just put so much pressure on this Saints side. They've never allowed him to get into the swing of the game.
I was going to say that wasn't a knock-on, it came off his ankle. Broadbent thought so. David Campbell had other ideas. Now, the referee's right. So it's a scrum, and it's St Helens head and feed. And that was a good ball from Martin to Lachlan, but it was Darryl Powell who read the script perfectly. Hodgkinson, drop ball by Cooper, knock on. St Helens, errors creeping into their play, frustration, name of the game.
They're just losing their way, aren't they? Little at sixes and sevens, the skipper there, Shane Cooper, knocking on. It was interesting to see that among the changes, Saints, they brought Tira Party in from the centre. He was playing at standoff at that scrum. Oh, dearie me.
Centre, Richard Price, from the base of the scrum on the first tackle, dropsy.
Just getting back to that, this is the incident there, bringing the ball back inside, definitely looking at the man rather than football. Maybe Rapati playing at standoff may inject something for them.
Here he is, Tira Party, reigning First Division Player of the Year. Handling errors just creeping up in this second half, 6-5 now. But 12-6 on the scoreboard. At almost an hour of the match, Bernard Dwyer trying to conjure something up for St Helens. Hodgkinson to Joint, who's looked a lot more eager for work in this second half, I must say, Joint. And Maguire leaning all over him there.
They've been getting away with it, and also they've been harassing the man at the play of the ball.
That's a good ball out wide, Lachlan. Good tackle, though. Well, did he tackle that, or did he pass that when the tackle was completed? Referee says no, it's play on. Cooper pops the ball over the top. Riley can't hang on. Another error.
Well, the half gap was there. It was well worked by Shane Cooper, but really there wasn't the second phase. Long pass outside. Riley, no chance really.
Sheridan feeding the scrum and then finding Gamson. Lee Jackson acting half-back. We are midway through this second half. An hour gone. 20 minutes remaining. 6 points the difference. Match is anybody's. Sheffield in possession with Farrell.
Come on.
Sheridan now misses out Maguire and finds Aston, who in turn finds Gamson, who has got Tommy Martin all round him and was then finished off by Rapati.
It's been a lovely feature of Sheffield tonight, the way that Darryl Powell and Mark Aston have combined to bring in the fullback Mark Gamson.
High kick from Aston. Sheffield after it. Hunt wasn't distracted. And here he goes. This is a good run from Alan Hunt. 3 ahead of him though, and Broadbent took him copybook style.
Oh, great play from the fullback, Alan Hunt there. He took a magnificent ball. Didn't want to just die with it. Was looking for the opening and got it.
Ball comes free from Dwyer. It went backwards, says the referee, and again the decision is play on. The Eagles crowd don't like it. Eagles players don't like it. It's back to 0 in the tackle count. Referee says it was a Sheffield foot that touched it. Amazing though, isn't it? These two sides have been involved in games this season which have yielded almost 2,000 points, and we've only had 18 tonight. 12-6, Sheffield lead.
Still a long way to go.
Loughlin dabs it forward. Now that's going to... Oh, I thought it was going to hold up for a moment, and then immediately, as I said it, the touch judge had the flag up. Loughlin wanted it to stay in, though, Steve.
Yes, that was the option that he was looking for. And that's the type of thing that they've got to try. They've got to try the little kick. It's been difficult for them to get through this very strong Sheffield defence. They've got to start changing the tactics. Little chip over. I haven't seen St Helens put on a set move yet, or the little run round yet.
Saints have lost just once on 3 previous visits here. They won here 18-10 last season. It was the former Eagles, Sonny Nicol, who scored the decisive try that day. Nicol, one of the St Helens stars, missing tonight.
Well, they can see less than 17 minutes remaining, and I'm sure the St Helens coach, Eric Hughes, will be looking now to perhaps inject someone, perhaps a substitution.
Kick downfield, and Riley, it touched his ankle, and I think Saints are about to bring someone new on. Let's go downstairs to Bill.
It's going to be a big moment for Afi Liwila. Inga, the winger, the Wigan sensation's brother-in-law, looks as though he's going to come on very shortly for Tommy Martin. Saints have got the number 6 board out. Tommy Martin's been struggling throughout this second half, looking towards the touchline. They've been trying to keep him on to get to him to run off whatever knock he's got, but it looks as though Tommy Martin will be coming off, and it is Afi Liwila who is stripped and ready to come on.
Liwila, 2 tries in 3 Alliance team games. Yes, Veiga Twigamala's brother-in-law came over here on the flight with him, played rugby union for Tonga. He will be introduced to this match as soon as there's a break in play. But not just yet, because Plans is in possession. That's another great run. Martin is obviously in some distress. He's the man who's going to be coming off with a rib injury. Gamson with the run, halted by Bernard Dwyer. Sheridan. And Sheridan and McAtee locking horns in centre field. Now Maguire releases the pass. Jackson picks up the pieces. He finds Sheridan again. Sheridan, that's a lovely ball. Powell releases the ball. Oh, out wide was Richard Price, just couldn't hang on. But he's given the benefit of the doubt by the referee. It's play on, says David Campbell. Here come the Eagles again with Maguire hitting that ball at pace, and a good tackle by Cooper. Last one for the Eagles. Will they go for the 1-pointer? No, Gamson wants 4, and he got it. Gamson's got the 4. He's got the second try of the night, and he deserves it. Try number 7 of the season, 2 this evening at Don Valley. And is that the moment the match slips away from Saints?
Quick play of the ball, good thinking by the fullback Mark Gamson. You could see no second marker, no fullback. Gamson, fullback at the other end, takes the 4. Well engineered. Look at that. Bad work. They both went the same side. The first and second marker went to the right. It left a huge gap, and Gamson went straight through it.
I think he was pleased with it too, Mark Gamson. Never present this season. 5 tries before tonight, 2 here now, 7. And so from bang in front, it's going to be Mark Aston with the conversion attempt. 2 out of 3. It will surely be 3 from 4 in a couple of moments. Meanwhile, there's all sorts of goings on the bench, and we'll get up to date with all the changes in a moment. By the way, they put the coat back on Luila as Aston clips the conversion over the top. Now Luila's stripped off. He's about to come on as Sheffield lead by 18 points to 6.
A simple error, 2 men, they're both going in the same direction, and look at the gap there. Unbelievable. He had to work for it, and fully deserved it. He read it well, didn't he?
Great try. Sheffield ahead 18-6. Changes have been made both sides. For Sheffield, Maguire and Farrell have come off, and Carr has returned along with Ian Hughes, the number 15 who celebrates his 23rd birthday on Sunday. And for St Helens, Afi Luila is on. Big moment for him. But is it too late for him to rescue this match? The gap, though, only 12 points. But Eagles looking for more. Aston with the little dab forward again.
Not happy, but he'll be happy with the scoreline. He's had a great game as Mark Aston. So Dellel Powell, the combination we mentioned before the game, perhaps the experience of Powell and Aston would certainly tell over the youngsters Tommy Martin and John McAtee. I'm not saying that McAtee and Martin haven't worked hard, but the experience of those two, Powell and Aston, has certainly contributed to this game.
Well, here's Luila, and he looks a little like his brother-in-law, doesn't he? But he's new to the game, and he almost had the ball stolen from him there.
Yes, he certainly has the same hairstyle, doesn't he?
He has the same running style too. A to B, quickest way is a straight line. This is Chris Joint. Now Luila again. You heard the wind taken out of his sails then by that tackle from Aston. Hodgkinson, the dummy half. Cooper, Rapati, McAtee. Hunt called for that. Good tackling by Jackson Hunt. He got straight up off the floor, continued the movement with Dwyer. Support is there from Riley, and Riley just can't get away from David Fraisse or from Ian Hughes. Last tackle for St Helens. 1 point, no good. Joint hit it straight at the Sheffield man, hoping for a ricochet, but it didn't come off for him.
Well, the option was there, Lady Luck against him, but that was much better from St Helens. They started running onto the football. There was men in support. More of that, and perhaps they could salvage this. 11 minutes remaining.
But what a hero's role tonight. Bruce Maguire has played. He really has played his heart out, and he's now with Bill.
Bruce, at 18-6, do you think you've got this in the bag now?
Mate, that last try, I think, hopefully wrapped us up. There's about 10 minutes to go, and they have to score at least twice. So hopefully we, with the defence we've got at the moment, it's sort of wrapping them up fairly tightly. So we've just got to keep pressure on them down their end, and hopefully we've got the game.
It's been a terrific Eagles performance, hasn't it?
It has been a good performance for us. We've been sort of going from strength to strength. But, you know, credit to them, they've won their last 7 games, I think. So we knew it was going to be a very hard game. And they're a very dangerous team. They attack from anywhere on the pitch. So our defence has been excellent tonight. We like playing at home, so it's a good crowd and a good night to play football.
Sounds like he's enjoyed his evening's work, Bruce Maguire, doesn't he? Rapati does well to get the ball away. Hodgkinson. Have a look at the way the tackling's going, and aren't these two sides working hard for their money tonight? Joint. Cooper steps inside Jackson. This looks promising for St Helens. Long ball out wide. Sullivan picks it out to the air, but then is bundled into touch by a super tackle from David Plange.
Oh, he come in at Plange, but he soon turned round. Got the winger into touch. Once again, a beautiful break from Shane Cooper, but it seemed like an eternity before support came to him.
Little wink from David Plange really did say it all. He enjoyed that moment. And Sheffield will enjoy the moment if they hang on here tonight. They won at Knowsley Road for the first time in their history in October 1912. They could be celebrating their first ever big league double over the Saints in, what, 8.5 minutes. Paul Carr. What have we got for you Sunday, by the way? Leeds Featherstone, 8 o'clock. Note the time, 8 o'clock Sunday, the big league. It's a 2-hour show. All match, Leeds Featherstone, a raw local derby. And next Friday, we're watching the league leaders. Salford Bradford from the Willows, a change to the usual time, 10 o'clock. And a change to your TV listings, by the way, 10 o'clock next Friday. But the players of Salford and Bradford needn't worry, it won't be live.
Well, it's been a great feature of the Sheffield tonight. That man, the kicking game, his control, it little chip over the top, the grubber kick. He just kept turning St Helens back all night. It really has been a workmanlike performance from the Sheffield Eagles. Very few mistakes. The defence has worked hard.
Luila. Good tackle coming in on him from Daryl Powell. Now here's Rapati. Turns the ball inside to Lachlan. St Helens are keeping it going, aren't they? It's, as Bruce Maguire said on the touchline, just 2 converted tries and the level. Luila, 2 tries, 3-18 games have given him his chance here. He was taken on by St Helens just in time for the Challenge Cup deadline. Long pass out wide, Lachlan with those long legs of his. Gets the ball away neatly to Riley. Carr dumped him. And he was finished off by the winger, Richard Pixley. Low pass to Cooper. Chris Joint, good tackle by Sheridan. Cooper again, this is McAtee. Drills the ball along the ground. And it runs out. Eats up the clock, that's all right for Sheffield. They're quite content with that.
And so they should be, but once again you can see clearly the pressure that has been applied on all the kicking game for St Helens. This Sheffield side has impressed me so much. Probably the best performance I've seen from them this season.
And for some time, they have never before won 5 big league matches in a row, but they're on the threshold of that here tonight. Mick Cook. Let's say, as well as the players, the Tannoy announcer works overtime here too, doesn't she? Anthony Sullivan, good tackle on him by Hughes. Broadbent finishing him off. Hodgkinson, the dummy half. Rapati, Cooper. Lachlan, they're trying to exploit a bit of space down this right-hand side, but Lachlan had the ball stolen from him. It's a penalty against David Fraisse.
No doubt about the penalty. You can see the Frenchman must have thought it was Christmas. It wasn't a present, he took it.
Just over 5 minutes to go, plus stoppages. St Helens hunting for the 2 converted tries that would level this up. St Helens have certainly had the better of the penalty share.
But you could see there, they know they've got this game won with just 6 minutes remaining. But the tackling is still as ferocious as it was at the start of the game. They don't want to make St Helens, let St Helens score.
That was a knock-on by Pickavance. From a St Helens point of view, Steve-O, they hope they'll get this game out of their system before that semi-final, I fancy.
Well, I'm sure that all the players and their coach, Eric Hughes, will no doubt say that. It's always nice to get a bad one out of the way, but the only reason why they've been bad is the fact that Sheffield have made them look bad. They've never allowed the Saints into this game at all.
Jackson to Mick Cook. There's the Tannoy announcer again. I don't know whether she's paid by the number of announcements she makes, but she'll be the richest woman in the Don Valley tonight. Here's Paul Carr. Tries to get away from Chris Joint. He can't get away from Bernard Dwyer. Referee, his patience holds again. Powell. Less than 4 minutes to go now, plus the stoppages. And they're on the 5th tackle with Daryl Powell on the halfway line. He looks disgustedly at the referee. Ashton with the chip over the top. Sullivan. It's Rapati. Cooper to Bernard Dwyer. They've worked very, very hard, haven't they? I can't believe this Tannoy. Lachlan. Now joint. Pickavance. Well, she's even reduced Steve-O to silence. This is Mike Riley.
Well, a nice try by Tommy Martin there to try to get through. He's worked hard tonight for St Helens. Take nothing away from him, but he really has been outclassed by the star of Daryl Powell and Mark. Another good thing that I'm sure that the Sheffield coach Gary Hetherington will be very pleased with is they've kept their mistakes to a very, very minimum, and he must be very pleased to think that they were in turmoil, Sheffield, when the Australian Bill Gardner went back home. They thought that it was going to be the end, but really from that moment on, Gary Hetherington took over the reins once again, and he really has brought them back into a very slick outfit indeed.
It's been a workmanlike performance. Sheridan to Powell. They're going to try and finish this with a flourish. The ball, though, went forward as Richard Price collected it, and David Campbell is the most unpopular man in the Don Valley Stadium.
Powell getting the ball through, perhaps slightly forward. Pretty difficult from that angle, but let's not take anything away from the referee, David Campbell. His positioning was superb. He's had a good game tonight, David Campbell, the referee. He's kept the game flowing.
Daryl Powell, by the way, substituting all three tests against the Kiwis. And that's good play from Luila, who's found Lachlan. The long ball out wide to Pickavance. Look at Pickavance go. He can play in the centres. He has some speed, doesn't he? That's good tackling, but the touch judge is on. Oh, and Pickavance, for a moment, lost his rag. The challenge on him. Didn't like it.
Well, David Plange was holding him back. Pushed to the ground. And there you see it, Pickavance not happy by it. It's been a frustrating night for St Helens. But can they finish with a flourish?
Cooper to Luila, who drops it, but gets it back, but it's a knock on.
Well, that's a shame for the substitute, because Afi Luila has certainly injected a little bit more enthusiasm into the side since he came on as a substitute. Of course, he must be thinking perhaps of Wembley. They're all playing for their place. I'm sure that Harry Hughes, the coach, is not impressed with some of the performances tonight.
Gamson. This is Jackson, and now Broadbent. They have worked very hard, this Sheffield Eagles team. It's a victory now because we're into stoppage time. It has been certainly their best performance in front of the Sky cameras. Little doubt about that. I know their coach Gary Hetherington was keen that they put on a show for us, and my word, they've done exactly that. All right, the Saints might have been out of sorts, but the opposition can only play as well as you let them. Riley collects. Good chasing though, hasn't it?
Tremendous, nice kick again from Mark Aston. Saw the forwards racing downfield. Paul Carr leading the way. It's been a frustrating night for the classy St Helens three-quarters. The full credit to Plans, Price, Fraisse and Pixley. They have tackled their hearts out.
And there is the full-time siren, and all the Sheffield Eagles players will take a bow in front of this crowd, I'm sure. They have won by 18 points to 6. And Mark Gamson, adjudged the local man of the match. You could really have picked anyone 1 to 13 on that Sheffield Eagles side. A tremendous effort from them. And they really do have designs on a top 8 place for the very first time in their history.
Seize the day! the day.
Fraisse, the goals from Mark Aston, 18 points to Sheffield, just the 6 to St Helens, and all from Paul Loughlin, try and a goal. 3,500 here, 12-2 at half-time. Excellent performance from Sheffield Eagles. The two marks, Gamson and Aston, with Bill Arthur.
Mark, we picked you out as local hero before this game. That was certainly a heroic performance. You must be delighted with it.
Oh yeah, very delighted. All team played well. We've got the third best attack and the third worst defence, and we just showed that we can defend for once. These are semi-finalists. We have a good chance of going on really well from here.
Is that the most pleasing thing, the fact that really you worked hard at shutting them out tonight?
Well, that's it. We had to work hard on his defence. We score points. It's just his defence that's been letting us down, but tonight it didn't.
And 2 tries for you, that can't be bad.
Well, it can't be bad. I don't score many. I haven't scored for 6 games, and to score 2 in 1 is very nice.
Well, Mark Aston's here as well. Mark, that's a result that means you've done the double over St Helens this season, which is a great achievement for Sheffield Eagles, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great credit to the boys. We've worked hard this last week, knowing that we needed to win against St Helens, especially in front of the crowd that's been here tonight. Absolutely marvellous. Such as Gamma, you know, we've been here a long time, and to win a game like that, to play how we did then, that's brilliant.
And that's a result that I think might move you up to 7th in the table, but the point being that you're still on course to the Premierships, which is the target now, isn't it?
Well, let's just have somebody to beat today. You know, we've won his last 4 or 5 games. Let's take somebody down here. Wigan's next down here. I think we're looking forward to that. And who knows, we could end up in the top 4.
The club's obviously buzzing now.
It's buzzing, you know, the crowd's getting behind us tonight. What an atmosphere. Every time we had the ball, you know, it gives us a big buzz. And as I say, it's a credit to the boys. We've knuckled down today and come away with the 2 points.
Mark Gamson was saying there that defensively, probably this is the most satisfying performance of the season.
Yeah, we've been a bit disappointing lately. We've been letting a lot of points in. But today, we know the objective. If we could stop St Helens scoring, and we win the game, which we did.
They did indeed, and the facts behind the scoreline, the tackling, 164 to 161. They have to be fit these days, don't they? 23 scrums in the match, 13 for St Helens. 8-3 the penalties, 7-8 the handling errors, little to choose there. And 50-50 possession second half, but Sheffield Eagles enjoying the better of things in the first 40 minutes. A delighted Gary Hetherington, the Sheffield Eagles chairman, coach, groundsman, does the kit as well, I think. He's Mr. Sheffield Eagles, he's with Bill.
He's got a smile on his face tonight. Gary, would that be the most satisfying 80 minutes of the season, maybe?
Well, every win is the most satisfying one, but to get a league double over St Helens is a big achievement by the team and another little milestone for the club.
You got off to a flying start, which must really have settled people down, the perfect start, really.
Yes, obviously, I always want to get in front early on, but it's important also, even if you don't score, to establish a bit of dominance physically, and I felt that that's what we do. That's what we did. We defended extremely well. We put St Helens under a lot of pressure and forced them into making a few handling errors. I think what we did also is demoralise them a little bit, and they lost the spark. They weren't the St Helens team that we've grown accustomed to know, and I thought they got a little bit demoralised, lost their way a little bit. Well, that gave us confidence, and we just continued to go forward.
Yes, maybe people will say Saints were below par, but do you think that was down to yourselves?
Yeah, well, teams play as well as you let them, and I mean they defended well against us because we put some good rugby together. But yeah, I thought that our defence was the reason why Saints didn't play particularly well. But that's credit to us, of course, and it is an area that we've been conscious of. We've been scoring loads of points recently, but letting quite a lot in, and that's an area that one of the objectives was to improve, and I was delighted with that performance today.
Well, you've experienced the Premierships as a second division side. How about doing it as a first division side now?
Yeah, well, it's a great day at Old Trafford, and it's not often teams come from 7th or 8th to win it, but it has been done before. It's all about the team that's in form at that particular time. Now, there's still a long way to go, of course, still 7 matches to go, but we're going really well at present, and we've got a few big matches coming up. I'm confident now that we'll make the top 8, and hopefully we're not far from the few clubs in front of us. So we'll just keep going and take it as it comes, and then if we do get in the Premiership, then our lads have tasted the day at Old Trafford, and they'll be determined to try and get back there.
Well, he looks pleased, and so he should be, and Sheffield now well and truly confirmed in the top 8. They've moved above Leeds, courtesy of this victory here tonight. Of course, Leeds and Featherstone you'll be able to see on Sky Sports on Sunday. But Sheffield Eagles well and truly established amongst the top 8 clubs in the big league, and well done to them. Another milestone for them tonight. 2 tries, Steve-O, second half. and at one stage here it looked like the Saints were going to force their way back into the game.
This is one of the very few occasions that they used the long ball, using the two dummy runners, and it was a well-taken try, but really they never got any much chance in the first or the second half. But this was a super try. Gamson, the full-back. When the defence both goes the same way, the first and second marker, the gap appeared. He took his opportunity. He had a storming game tonight. Very talented player, and just reward for his efforts.
People watching that, Steve-O, new to the game, will have seen that he got the pressure down, but the ball then bounced away. But a perfectly legal try for new viewers.
Of course, if you get the downward pressure, that's all that counts. It can bounce as many times as it wants after that.
Now, the thing is, Sheffield, as we say, a great night for them. They're in the top 8 and confirmed they're now in 7th place. St Helens, semi-final 2 weeks' time. Was this the one they had to get out of their system?
Well, they will say that, and I think that their coach, Harry Hughes, will have plenty to work upon, because it'll be a nightmare for them, and I'm sure that their coach will make them sit through it several occasions in this next week, because they have a lot of work to do. And I think that Sheffield have given Leeds a very, very big favour, because when you think about it, the Leeds side will realise that Sheffield really did put the pressure on, and when they applied pressure to the St Helens side, they really went to pieces. They just lost the plot.
Well, let's take a look at some of the great moments from the first half for this Sheffield Eagles side. And didn't Darryl Powell have a good game here tonight too?
I thought the combination of Aston and Powell was one of the reasons in the first half why Sheffield took control. And down the left-hand side, this was the try that came about from David Fraisse. Beautiful handoff there. You can see he takes the ball right way and goes in for a lovely try. But it was the 5th occasion that they'd breached the St Helens defence down on the left-hand side. They had a lot of problems early on, did Saints, in the defence. What a great game also from the prop forward Paul Broadbent. And this is a typical example of support, and you will be rewarded. Keep going. Gamson again, great night for him. Support from the full-back. They kept the ball alive, and they were rewarded.
We've talked a bit about St Helens and their semi-final. We've got to really pay credit, I think, to Sheffield Eagles for the win here tonight. We talk about development. This is, I suppose, in quotation marks, a development area. They're in the big league, Sheffield Eagles. This is another important milestone, as Gary Hetherington was emphasising in that interview with Bill for them, isn't it?
I think so, and I think they've done exceptionally well. I'm very, very pleased with them for the fact that they had a real upheaval halfway through the season. They lost their Australian coach, Bill Gardner, and by the time he went back to Australia, quite a lot of people were thinking, well, perhaps that is the end of Sheffield Eagles. Well, since Gary Hetherington took control again, he really has shaped them into a very skillful side. They had a problem in defence. We didn't see it tonight.
Did not. And just looking at the stats, it's 8 from 10 now. But they have this wonderful theatre on which to play, the Don Valley Stadium. All right, there's plenty of empty seats on show. But when you get 3,500, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 in here, my word, they make a noise.
Well, they certainly do. It's because it comes over the side of... it's a nice stand, and it can get that way. And if they can continue in that vein, if they play football that they've shown today, especially in the first half, then the crowd will roll up. The Yorkshire people are very, very fickle, but if they start winning things, believe you me, they'll get great support.
I just wonder how important it would be for them to take that extra step now and get to the Premiership final at Old Trafford. I mean, they've been there for the second division, but with all due respect to the second division, that is the hors d'oeuvre for the main event, isn't it?
Oh, yes, of course. But if they can do that, one of the main ingredients that they come out with is the fact that they would have perhaps a little bit more cash. They're pretty strapped at the moment. They had to fight to get to the cash for Lee Jackson. They could do with another 2 real top-class players. And when they do that, then they really will be up there with the big boys.
Well, they're in the top 8 now. What have we got coming up for you here on Sky Sports in the days and weeks ahead? On Sunday at 8 o'clock, it's Leeds against Featherstone. The whole match will be here from 8 until 10 on Sunday evening. Next Friday, later time, it's because of our continuing coverage of the Test cricket from the West Indies, 10 o'clock for Salford against Bradford Northern, the leaders. Thursday at 9:30, change of time, a little bit later, but not too late. You can stay up for this. Boots and all, Thursday at 9:30. And don't forget, our Academy Challenge Cup coverage begins. Wakefield Wigan, the youngsters who were on show here today before the big league match tonight. But coming up, we have the Asian Open Snooker with Jeff Stelling and all the top stars from the world of the Green Bays. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen here tonight. It's been a Green Bays out there, hasn't it, for Sheffield Eagles? They've played it so well. They've picked up a great win. They're confirmed in the top 8.